Assassinator17 back again. Next video in the PC component series. I couldn't grab a hard drive because the hard drive that's in my machine is annoyingly tricky to get out, so I grabbed a CD drive instead, and I'm going to show you that. So this is what the CD drive will look like. I'm going to have a little label on it, and that'll be like the side to do with the motor, I think. Screws on the side, they should look like these type of screws, where they can't be screwed in all the way. They'll have a gap. Well, depending on if your CD drives are toolless or not, because you can get ones. This one just slides out of a slot and it clips in. On the back you have a series of connectors. The only ones you should need to worry about is that power one and that data one. I can show you what that looks like. Here I've got some IDE cable, and you can see its purpose. It's got a little CD logo, and the blue section will clip into the motherboard, and the two other sections will clip into CD drives you've got. You should be able to tell which is which, because the CD drive portions will have a shorter gap, the motherboard sections have a longer gap. Anyway, installation, you take your thing. Notice that there's a section that doesn't have a pin on it. You can see that roughly in the middle, and that will line up with, on the motherboard there'll be a section that doesn't have a pin on there as well. Let me just see if I can get that in some better light. Yeah, you can see that it's just above the nodule, that notch there. There's a pinless bit, and those two places line up, and that's what gives you your guide on how to put it in. So just try not to bend any of the pins while you do this. I would suggest going like that, then making sure it goes flat on, and then just give it a push, and then that's it. Got a little thing here that helps pull it out, but you can just give it a fair yank. Just sit it down, give it a fair yank, and it will come out no problem. On the CD drive it's the same deal. You can see more clearly now that there's a pinless bit. There's a section of, well, there's just one pin missing. That will align with my IDE cable. It's tricky to slot in, and you just slot it in. There we go. Again, same concept, just give it a yank, that'll come out. As discussed earlier, power wise, you power it with your 4-pin Molex, and if I'm right, if you look at the 4-pin Molex, it has two curved tops and two corners. So the two corners at the top have edges where they're not 90 degrees, and that aligns with inside of here. It fits in a certain way. So I'm just going to show you that now. And there you go, that's in. Same thing, no need to be too careful, just make sure the drive doesn't move too much, and it's got, power cable's even got these two notches on the side of it that you can put your fingers on. So I'm just going to give that a bit of a yank. There we go, so that's come out. Now I couldn't get the hard drive to show you, but this is what the SATA data cable looks like. You can see it's got a sort of L shape to it, and that corresponds with, on the motherboard, we've got an L-shaped port there. Also, I forgot to cover this, but just while I'm here, you can see this green LED, that shows you there's power in the motherboard. Forgot to cover that. I'll probably do a little annotation later to show it. Same sort of deal, line the cable up with the L shape, slot it in, and then you're good to go. Do the same on the hard drive, and you're good. And I showed you this before, but that's the SATA power cable. If you've got the old IDE power cables, IDE hard drives, then you'll use a 4-pin Molex for power and you'll use one of those IDE cables over there for data. Okay, that's that. Probably going to move on to the last component that some people might not consider this component, but it's pretty important, so I'm going to include it. It's the PC case, and that's coming up in the next video. See you later.